This is Bert Robertson with KCP Dynamics, and we're going to step through the process of ordering through fulfillment in 10 minutes using Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2016. In this case, we're going to take a credit card order from a customer, pick the various components from stock, assemble them on the fly, ship them, and then charge the customer's credit card. In sales order entry, I'm going to, from my role center, go up to New Document and click Sales Order. I'll click Enter to get a sales order number, and then I'll pick the customer, the Canon Group. When I hit Tab, all of the defaults from the customer card will get inserted into this order, and then I can specify a few other things like the delivery date, which will be next Friday the 14th, and the promised delivery date, which is also the 14th. I'll type in the customer's PO number. I'll record my salesperson code and then move to the shipping tab. This will ship out of the silver warehouse, and I will use the delivery shipment method, which is going to take 3 days. Now I'll move to the Invoicing tab. On the Invoicing tab, I'm going to specify that this will be paid via credit card. And so I'll specify which credit card from their file they plan to use. And then I will reconfirm that this is tax liable and that we know what their tax area code is. And now I can enter what is being ordered. This will be an item, and in this case I happen to know the number, which is a 561J assortment. What's special about this is an assembly, meaning it is comprised of components. In fact, it is an assemble to order type of assembly, meaning that it's not stocked as a complete kit. It needs to be assembled on the fly in the shipping area. I'm going to enter that they want one of these, and it looks like one of these will have to be assembled on the fly. If I want to know what the components of this kit are, I'll go up to Line, Assemble to Order, and see what those lines are. So I have 3 different types of cable ties with quantities 200, 200, and 300 respectively. In my particular environment, I can submit this directly to the warehouse. I don't have to go through any extra approval process. So I will simply click Release. And now this order is listed as released, and I can click OK. My order entry process is complete. In the warehouse, what I want to do is find any released sales orders for my particular warehouse. I have saved a view that is filtered for just that. So I will click down here, Released Sales Orders for Silver, and I see that released sales order right here. I'll double click to open it, and I see that the scheduled shipment date is 10/7. This is planned to ship no later than the 11th so that it can be delivered by the 14th, because we said it would take 3 days to get there. So I'm going to go ahead and get this through the shipping process. To do so, I'll click Create Warehouse Shipment, and that creates the header document that will eventually be filled and then shipped. Now, this is the warehouse shipment document, and I know that I'm going to have to pick some items in order to fulfill this and ship it. So to do that, I will click the Create Pick button, and I'll specify who's going to do the picking, and that's going to be me, actually. One important thing to note is that I won't be picking this fully assembled kit. I'll be actually picking the components and getting them staged for assembly. So let's click OK, and we're done. So as a warehouse manager, I have gone ahead and created the warehouse shipment and generated the pick ticket and now it's time for someone to do the picking. As a picker, I'm going to check this filter called My Picks, and this is filtered for picks for my user ID in location silver, and I see this particular pick ticket. I'm going to double click it, and what do I see? I need to take 200 of these cable ties out of bin 1 and put them into the kitting area, and similarly out of bin 2 this cable tie, and then again out of bin 2 this other cable tie. So I will go and find those pieces and then type in the quantity that I have handled, and finally register my pick once I've brought everything over to the kitting area. Now the person who's actually doing the assembly has a list here of assembly orders. So I'm going to double click this, and as an assembler what I see is I'm supposed to create one of these 561J assortments. Down here I can see everything that's needed, and so I'm going to go ahead and assemble these items into a kit. Now if I were assembling this to stock, I would go ahead and post this, but since I'm assembling this on the fly for shipment purposes, I don't need to post it. All I need to do is assemble it, and then I can physically take it over to the shipping area. In the shipping area, I'm going to get that item and then take a look at the released warehouse shipments. Open this one up and indicate that we're ready to ship one. And now I can post my shipment, and normally of course I would print my packing slip. When I post this, since there was an assemble to order on here, it is now deducting the components from stock, temporarily putting the kit into stock, and then immediately shipping that kit out the door to the intended customer. So our job in the warehouse is done, and now it's time for accounts receivable. In accounts receivable, I have another saved filter. I have a list of orders which have been shipped but not yet invoiced for the silver warehouse. So I'll click that, and I see this particular order, and I will confirm there was one ordered, there was one of these shipped, and thus I have to invoice one of these. And so now I would click post, or in reality to create the physical invoice I'd click post and print. When I click post, it's also going to charge the credit card. Thankfully I'm in test mode, and so I'm not actually going to use my real credit card because that would be very expensive. So now I can click OK, and I'm all set. This order, if I refresh my screen, is now archived. That's the end of the process, and we've gone all the way from order entry through fulfillment and invoicing and charging the credit card.